I thought I would jump on quickly and do a live around my continuous glucose monitor that I have been wearing for the past 10 days, and just share with you some of the things that has been really fascinating and things that I've learned so far, and just how it all works and why I've done it. So the reason why, so this is what it looks like. I've got this extra skin that sits over top of it. It's normally just around, but that just makes sure that it doesn't get caught on any clothes, because it, in terms of it can, just dislodge. So I just wanted to protect myself. So the reason why I have got a 2-week trial of using a continuous glucose monitor was because I just wanted to understand what the foods that I was eating was doing to my blood sugars. And also in terms of how much sleep affects my blood sugars or lack of sleep, exercise, if that shoots up my blood sugars, stress levels of stress, incidents of stress can affect it. So it's not only about the food, but it's been absolutely really fascinating. So it connects to an app. I can't show you the app because it's on my phone, which I'm doing the video on, but it is in real time, and it is like just monitoring my blood sugars just constantly over a 24-hour period. And as long as you are within 2 meters of your phone, it'll be tracking your blood sugars. I can have it out of my room at night, and then it will store data for 8 hours. So then I can just scan it, and it'll do that data over the night. What I have found most fascinating is just what certain foods have done to my blood sugars, which I didn't realize would give it a spike. In terms of what, so I'll give you an example. In the weekend, I was down in Hawke's Bay, and I went out for to lunch with mum and dad, and it was a really, really lovely place and a bit of a special treat. Now, I had fasted up until then, so it was midday that we went out, and I was like, I'm going to choose healthy thing. Well, no, I wasn't actually. I was like, I'm just going to eat what I want to eat and see what it does to my blood sugars. But, I will still always choose healthier stuff. Anyway, so because I was on an empty stomach, we had some sourdough to start with. But because it had some hummus and some dips with it, I thought it wouldn't shoot up my blood sugars as much as it did. But like straight away, I saw a spike in my blood sugars. But then my spike came down very quickly. So it takes about half an hour to register. So it's not something that you can kind of watch instantly, but you kind of see it over time. The difference is if your blood sugars are staying up, or they're taking a long time to come down, that's when it's a concern. Or if you're often in these spikes, that's where you can become insulin resistant, which is, that is definitely a concern that you want to look out for. The fact that mine shot up and then they came straight back down, and then I followed it with a pork belly, which had some mushrooms and some an aubergine whip, and I'm trying to think, and some other things with it. And so it came down to like a normal level. I then followed it with a dark chocolate parfait, which had a matcha, we were at a beautiful winery, a matcha cream. Now, I thought that my blood sugars would have shot back up again, but they didn't. They actually stayed really level. So what I have learned is that what would have been more beneficial for me was to have my main meal and then have the bread, and then the fact that I had the dessert following the main meal, so it had the protein, it had the veggies. That is why I didn't get such a spike from having the sweet, the dessert, as I would have if I'd had it on its own. So I hope that makes sense. So it's what you're better to have a sweet treat alongside a meal where you've got your protein, you've got your healthy fats, you've got your veggies in it, because that is what, you know, you can look at it as clothing a carbohydrate or a sugar, because it's going to absorb the effects of the insulin. Another way to clothe, if you are having you're having cake or you're having something sweet, if you put like whipped cream, or if you put unsweetened natural yogurt with the cake, then that is going to reduce the spike that it would have if you had it on its own. And if you have it with following other food, it's going to reduce that spike if you rather than having it on an empty stomach. Now, my spike with the sourdough was probably higher because I was fasting and I was on an empty stomach anyway. But that was really interesting. I thought the fact that I would be that I was combining it with some of those hummuses and dips, it wouldn't have spiked so much. But that's just something that I'm really learning. Other things that I have discovered is that if I'm having breakfast and I'm not fasting, if I have coconut water with my breakfast, then that can cause a spike. But if I then, just make sure that I'm adding protein powder or lots of protein and some healthy fats in there, then that can stabilize it more. So it's all about learning how to reduce the spike effect that food can have on blood sugars. Now, if I wake up during the night and that can cause a little bit of a blip in my blood sugars, naturally we get a cortisol influx like just before we wake up, so that causes a little bit of a blip. I haven't noticed a massive spike if I exercise. And in terms of stress, funnily enough, I haven't had a really stressful situation in the past couple of weeks, so I haven't been able to gauge that. But if this is of interest to you, this is all the work that I'm bringing into my Wicked Healthy tribe. We were embracing change during midlife. This is really fascinating stuff. So if you want to jump on the wait list for the next time I open the doors, then I've put the link. There's a link that you can click on, but otherwise head to wickedwellbeing.com/interest, because this is, I'm sharing, more on what I am experiencing, and it's more work that I want to bring in because I think it's really fascinating. And what foods break us out of a fast, because we are focusing on intermittent fasting and how to manage our menopausal symptoms. So if that's of interest, then come and join us. As I say, the link is there. But this has been such a fascinating experiment. I have absolutely loved it, and we finish it because you can only have them for 2 weeks. So let me know if you've got any questions. And tonight I am trialing what a gin, soda and lime will do. Like, I'm not into fizzies or soda drinks, but I just want to see what that's going to do to my blood sugars. So it's really good to be able to experiment. Okay, catch you later, and let me know if you've got any questions. See ya.